Hi, I'm Paul from Mira Showers, and in this video we'll be taking you through a step-by-step installation of the Mira Activate rear-fed digital shower. The Mira Activate is based on an all-new digital mixing valve platform. There are single and dual outlet models, as well as models designed for both high and low pressure plumbing systems. The high pressure valve variant is designed specifically for high pressure plumbing systems, such as combination boilers or unvented cylinder systems. The pumped valve variants are specifically designed for low pressure gravity fed systems, boosting the flow to deliver up to 12 litres per minute using the integrated brushless pump. 3 fixing points are required to secure the valve in place. These can be fixed at the top or bottom-most points of the valve housing and are secured on the underside using the retaining screws provided. The digital mixing valve is supplied with push-fit isolation valves and connectors, making the connection to the valve hassle-free. Designed to be installed in a concealed location, such as in an attic, under a bath or in an airing cupboard, this makes the installation extremely flexible. Just ensure the valve can be accessed for future maintenance. Water supply should be flushed before the final connection to the valve. This prevents debris from blocking the filters or corrosive fluxes causing damage to the valve mechanism. Pipework from the valve to the right angle connector should be concealed in the wall before the final finished wall surface is applied. This supply is best installed vertically so as to avoid any accidental damage when drilling the wall in later parts of the installation. The supplies for the right angle connector should be located at a suitable height in relation to the fittings kit and for the user to operate the shower ergonomically. The pipework protrusion should be fed in 15mm and cut to 29 to 48mm in length from the finished wall surface. This must be fed in copper. Plastic or barrier pipe is not suitable for this application. Cutting the pipe is best done with a pipe slice, taking care that all burrs are removed to prevent damage to seals. The right angle connector assembly can then be installed with the wall plate being used to mark the wall. The wall can then be drilled, taking care to avoid the pipework in the wall cavity. The retaining disc, collet and seals can then be installed and the wall plate secured into place using the fixings supplied or those more appropriate for the wall material if necessary. The right angle connector assembly can then be fitted and the chrome shroud locked into place by twisting 90 degrees. The assembly is then held in place using a grub screw, which is concealed on the underside of the diverter. Flushing the pipework before attaching the handset will prevent any debris blocking the spray plate. The slide bar can then be assembled by mounting the clamp bracket and the hose retainer ring onto the slide bar and then fitting the slide bar supports at either end. These are tightened in place using the screws internal to the slide bar supports. The slide bar supports can then be used to mark the wall using a spirit level. The fixing points can then be identified and the wall marked using the backplates. The wall can then be drilled and the backplate secured into place using the fixing supplied or those more appropriate for the wall material if necessary. Using a stud detector will help ensure that no surfaces are damaged within the cavity of the wall through drilling. The grub screws at either end are then fully tightened to secure the slide rail into place. Chrome cap ends fit either end of the rail for the completed look. The hose and handset can then be installed, taking care to feed the hose through the retaining ring to comply with water regulations. For dual outlet installations, the pipework from the valve to the rear fed deluge should also be concealed in the wall before the final finished surface is applied. This supply is best installed vertically so as to avoid any accidental damage when drilling the wall in the later parts of the installation. The pipework protrusion should be fed in 15mm and cut to 29 to 48mm in length from the finished wall surface. This must be fed in copper. Plastic or barrier pipe is not suitable for this application. Cutting the pipe to size is best done with a pipe slice, taking care that all burrs are removed to prevent damage to seals. The overhead mounting assembly can then be installed with the wall plate being used to mark the wall. The wall can then be drilled, taking care to avoid the pipework in the wall cavity. The retaining disc, collets and seals can then be installed and the wall plate secured into place using the fixings supplied or those more appropriate to the wall material if necessary. The shower arm can also be cut to length to set the ideal length for the deluge from the wall. This can be cut using a 22mm pipe slice with a stainless steel blade or a hacksaw. With the chrome cover shroud already in place before assembling, the shower arm can then be inserted into the mounting assembly and the compression fitting tightened to create a watertight seal and to secure the shower arm into place. For added flexibility, the rear-fed deluge can also be installed as a ceiling fed by removing the bend from the shower arm using a 22mm pipe slice. Watch our ceiling fed Mira Activate video for more details on how to do this. The deluge head can also be fitted to the shower arm and then hand tightened to achieve a watertight seal. Flushing the pipework before attaching the deluge will prevent any debris from blocking the spray plate. The user controller is connected to the digital mixing valve using a fixed low voltage connection cable. This should be concealed in the wall before the final finished surface is applied. This is best achieved by the use of concealed conduit. Using the template, mark the fixing point and cable entry point, taking care not to damage the cable in the wall cavity when drilling. A 29 to 30mm hole should then be drilled in the finished wall surface to feed the communication cable through and connect to the user controls. The backplate can then be secured into place using the fixings supplied. After retrieving the communication cable from within the wall cavity, the user controller can then be connected to the cable which feeds up to the digital mixing valve. The controller is then clipped into place to secure it to the wall. The electrical supply for the digital mixing valve connects into the rear of the valve housing and is made using the transformer supplied. Connection to the digital mixing valve requires the removal of the valve housing lid in order to access the terminal. Following connection, cable routing is clearly indicated by apertures on the valve housing. The lid can then be secured back into place. Final connection to the supplies is then made using a 3-pin plug or a fuse spur fused to 3 amps if you prefer. Pumped variants of the Mira Activate feature an intuitive commissioning procedure prior to first use. Refer to the installation instructions for further details. Your Mira Activate digital shower is now ready to use. Additional features can also be accessed with the use of the Mira app, available for free from iOS and Android devices.